Could you use a quick tip daily? How about a tip that can impact your day? My name is Raphael. Join me as I bring you tips by experts around the world. These experts have shared their knowledge and wisdom with me and will directly share them with you. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow, and comment, and I would love for you to become part of the New Tip Daily community. Welcome back, New Tip Daily. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are talking about business scheduling. Excuse me. So, in the old days, what did we used to use? A calendar like this one, right? This is my February calendar. It's a paper calendar, appointment scheduler, all these different things. Today, business is so fast paced that we need to be able to pinpoint every day, right? What we're doing. By the way, this is episode number 66. I really appreciate you joining me today. So, I want to talk to you about business scheduling. I don't schedule my own appointments. What do I mean by that? Well, I use apps to help me with that. So I have Calendly. So I use Calendly, and I've used several different apps also. So I was using Calendly. Then somebody said to me, hey, use this other one. It's free. It does everything. And it was working great, this other free one. And then they had glitches and people could not book. They couldn't do things. And this is to be on my shows. So one of the things I started doing is I said, wait a minute, let me go back to Calendly because my meetings or my appointments are super important. And Calendly has done a great job. So I went back to Calendly and I'm able to set up different types of appointments, and it's all connected to my Google Calendar, can connect to my iCal calendar. So I do use many different calendars. I do use a paper calendar. Once somebody books in, I write in the calendar. I set it all up so that everyone is on the same page. So that is an app that people can actually go in and book into my calendar to book an appointment with me, whether it's a conversation, a 15-minute talk, just to get to know each other, or if it's a business meeting, I have a different calendar appointment for that. If they're going to come on one of my shows, I have a different one for that. And then when it comes to me setting appointments with an actual customer, I don't book any of those. So I have my front desk handle all that. So they will go ahead and book it with my client or my clients. And what winds up happening is once they book it, they put it into a system. And the system totally, here's the cool thing. Yes, Juanita, calendars are a must for sure. So thank you for joining me. So when we think about the way my system works, if you wanted to book a private lesson with me or a session or a one-on-one with me, or sometimes when I have to book a seminar or something like that, or a speaking engagement that I'm at, I don't book those. Like I said, my front desk books them. And it depends on what business we're talking about because I have a few. And so once they book it with my front desk, they put it into an app, and that app immediately sends out two things: a text message and a email. And then it puts it into, actually, it sends out two things, but it also, in the back end, it sets it up to my calendar. So I automatically get it on my phone. So here's my phone, right? So I get, look, it just showed up, right? Well, it just came, I took it off. But if I go to my calendar on my phone, I got to find it. I have so many. So here's one, right? Here's all my appointments. As you can tell, I'm quite a little busy bee. So everything is set up. But I didn't book any of these, by the way. I didn't plan any of them. Why? Because I would lose my hair. So what I have to do is I have to go in and see what I have. So at 5 a.m., I know what my whole day looks like by 5 a.m. because I set it up that way. So I know I can go the day before and know what's happening the next day. So everything is booked into my business, but not by me because there's so much going on in my life. So I do have someone who handles that for me. And that is probably the best investment I've ever done. Not only in the apps that I purchased, but in the people who make sure that I'm available to be present at those times. Don't get me wrong. This is not just for business. I also set it up for my personal life. So yesterday, Sunday, I had appointments set up and I already had them in my calendar. I knew I was going to go work out. I knew I was going to go to church. I knew I was going to go see a friend. And I put all that into my calendar, my personal time. And I can do that. I have no problem doing that, right? But when it comes to meetings, availability, scheduling, I definitely do not do any of that because it's too much. The most important thing you can do for business is to set it up. So also you don't want to double book because that causes problems. Now, let's say you're doing a meeting with 4 people. You can set it up so that space allows for 4 people to be booked into that spot. And that's what I do. Like if I'm doing a seminar, right? Let's say I only want to do a seminar for 20 people. Then I only allow space for 20 people to be able to book in. What if it's 100 people? Same thing. Once that fills up, no one else can go into it. But like I said, I don't set any of that up. My front desk takes care of that. As a business, it has helped me create more time to be able to do the things I want to do. When someone says to me, hey, can I book that with you? I'm like, no, you can't. And they're like, what do you mean? I say, well, it's pretty simple. You have to go talk to my front desk. You have to go talk to Melanie, or you have to talk to this one, or you have to talk to that one. And what winds up happening is now they go and take care of them. And they say, well, are you available? I said, I think I am, but you need to check. Once you book with me, I show up unless it's an emergency. If I've ever had an emergency, obviously I'm not going to be able to show up, but otherwise I am always there. Once this hits my calendar, whether it's my Google Calendar or my Spark calendar or any of my other calendars that I have, I automatically know here's the cool thing about this, right? I set it up so 10 minutes before my appointment, I get a little ding, a little reminder that I have something coming up. Then I set it up for 5 minutes before. In case I have to prepare, I have to do things, I have to get equipment, I have to get paperwork set up, if I have to bring tools to the event. But I also have it set up For example, if somebody books with me, they book ahead of time. They get notified 7 days before. Then they get notified 24 hours before. Then they get notified an hour before. Then they get notified 30 minutes before. Since I've been doing that, I've had less no-shows. Prior to me doing that, I've had so many no-shows because people go, oh, I forgot. I didn't realize it. I messed things up, whatever it is. We all have lived very busy lifestyles. But when we use a calendar to set it up, we are ahead of the game. We are planning our days and we're not letting the days plan us. So use your calendar, your apps. But listen to me, I went with that free app because somebody said to me, use this app, it's incredible. And it was at first, but then it had glitches and I could not afford the glitches of people not being able to log in or even set up an appointment. So I got rid of it. I went back to my paid calendar. It's worth the investment. Even this morning, I got a notification that there's another app out there that I don't have to pay monthly, but they don't have text messaging included. So I was like, great, sounds good. They can only send you a email notification. But I know not everybody checks the email all the time. One thing that everybody does have is a phone. And they do check their text messages. So that's how I stay on top of the curve. And I always make sure that I show up. That is the other part. If I want business to be successful, showing up is one of the most important things you need to do every single time. Reliability is big for business. I rent space to a martial arts school. They're terrible at scheduling. They are really terrible. I don't even know how they stay in business. But hey, that's not my problem. It's their problem. And they probably don't think it's a problem. But they don't have a lot of members. I wonder why. Because I've had people reach out to me to find out where they are because they weren't open on certain days. And I'm like, I can't help you. You have to talk to them. So they didn't notify their members that they were closed. And my number is a parent, so they reach out to me. And I said, I can't help you. You have to reach out to them. I said, they didn't tell you? They're like, no. I'm like, I'm really sorry. But that doesn't help them. It hurts them. So your business is so important, and having a schedule. Like when do you have business? If you have a brick and mortar, do you have it posted on your door? I do. People come to my door. Not only do I have it posted on my door, but guess what I have on my door? I have a QR code. On my QR code, yes, my phone number is on my front, but the QR code lets them know they can click on take out their phone, which everybody has one nowadays. They go right on it and they can look at my website, they can look at my schedule, they can look at everything. So have a QR code if you have a brick and mortar and let people know when you're available. Because I've had people come to my door and said, oh, I came and you weren't there. I said, yes, but did you look at my schedule? Oh, no. But I came another time, you weren't there. I said, you came a second time and you didn't look at the schedule? Yeah, I didn't pay attention. I'm like, so you wasted your time, right? They're like, yeah. So finally, I think on the fourth time, they caught me at the right time because guess what? I was there. And they're like, oh, I just happened to come by. I'm like, well, had you look at my schedule, you would have known that I was around. So your schedule is important, not only to you, but to your business. So do me a favor, make sure that you schedule everything. Otherwise, someone will steal your time away from you because they will interrupt your schedule. So set it up correctly, do it right. Listen, I'm not getting paid by Calendly.com, but they have a great system, and they truly, truly have. Everyone is trying to chase what they're doing. Why? Because they're successful, because they do it right. So I have several because I have different businesses. I don't use Calendly for all of my businesses, but I use Calendly for my podcasting and some of my personal stuff. My other business ties into something else. So that's already set up with my appointments, my calendar, my scheduling, everything. So even when I have to go and give an estimate to someone, if I have to go to their house, that's all based on a schedule. It's not based on whenever I want to show up. What if they're not home? You know, what if they weren't ready for me? So do me a favor, set up your schedule. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate you guys. Share these tips, these comments with your friends, family, colleagues, your loved ones. I would love to hear some tips that you may have. Find me on any of my social media, C for Raphael, C for Raphael G on Facebook, on Instagram is New Tip Daily, on everywhere. Just find me, share your tips. I'd love to hear a great tip, or even one that I already shared, but you have a different way of thinking about it or sharing it, a different concept. Let me know. I'd love to hear it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Tomorrow is going to be a good one. I hope to see you then. Have an amazing and exceptional day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.